Hello, it's truly issue number 59, where we discover that Uber's is finally moving to the cloud, why Roblox was down 3 days straight, and of course, how to pass a system design interview. Let's get it all started. When you start a new company or just simply a new project, you always need to decide if you want to deploy it on premise or go straight to the cloud. And Uber, when it started like 15 years ago, they preferred to go on premise and they hired another company to support them with that. But with the high growth of Uber, this company wasn't able to keep the pace. So Uber decided to build their own data centers and they end up with 3 of them. But now they finally switched to the cloud solution and they're doing the migration. Charlie Orris from the Pragmatic Engineer newsletter covers this history in 2 parts, and he covers the history of Uber's data centers, rationale behind the decisions, and like the whole story. So grab a 2 parts read. Okay, second thing is a Roblox 3 days outage. So when a known company's services with millions of users are offline for 15 minutes, it's already a tragedy. Facebook was down for several hours last year and it caused a global panic. Roblox, a gaming company, they were down for 3 days, which is an infinite time span from the internet perspective. So Roblox relies heavily on the HashiCorp products like Console and Vault, and looks like that Roblox work profile and usage of an experimenting feature in Console triggered a pathological issue in the open source engine of it, BoltDB. Not connected to Bolt whatsoever. So you can find the summary on the protocol.com site or take a look at the postmortem provided by the Roblox themselves. And the last one is a guide to the system design interview. So this time what I've got for you is a detailed guide which covers the structure of the system design interview, the expectations for you as a candidate, and of course the principles that you need to be aware of to pass 80% of the system design interviews. The ways of thinking, the ways interviewers look at the candidate, and of course the real life stories from Frank or Manga, all inside the guide for the system design interview. Okay, time for the follow-up section. So there are a lot of talks about serverless nowadays, and AWS Lambda is the most famous one, maybe after Firebase Functions. So is it just a fancy toy? Or you can really leverage it for your production environment. So find an article from SentinelOne where they provide 11 reasons to use Lambdas. Okay, the next one is comparing security frameworks. So how do you know which security measures you need to apply in your organization or for your particular project? To answer this question, security frameworks exist. So you can grab an article to understand the detailed comparison of 4 major cybersecurity frameworks named NIST, ISO 27002, NIST CSF, and CSF. So the author highlights the strengths and weaknesses of each framework, explains how they differ in terms of scope, focus, applicability, and how the scope interlaps between them. The article also offers practical insights and recommendations for optimizations to adopt or integrate these frameworks into their cybersecurity programs. Okay, next one is the journey of server-driven UI at Lyft rentals. So one day, a ride-hailing company found that its mobile apps UI was becoming too complex and difficult to maintain. So they decided to adopt a server-driven UI approach to simplify the app and improve user experience. The article from Lyft's engineering team details their journey towards implementing the server-driven UI in their bikes and scooters app, the challenges they faced and the benefits they achieved in terms of faster development, better user experience, reduced app size, and others. So grab a read. And the next one is moving backend closer to your users with edge functions. So edge functions allow developers to improve website performance and user experience by moving the backend closer to the position where the users is. This article from the Stack Overflow blog explores the concept of edge functions, the ability to move backend closer to the front end, resulting in improved website performance and user experience. So the article also highlights the advantage of edge functions, including faster loader times, improved scalability, reduced cost, and others. The article also delves into the use cases of edge functions like caching and content delivery, and provide examples with code how you can configure or use them. Okay, next one is a load balancing algorithms. Large-scale applications and websites often receive a high volume of traffic, and it can be handled by a single server. So load balancing distributes the traffic across the nodes, servers, and enable the efficient resource utilization, reduce downtimes, and improves availability. So the article I'm sharing is discussing various load balancing algorithms because there are like dozens of them, like round robin, weighted round robin, least connections, and modifications of those. So the author also provides an overview of advanced techniques such as SSL offloading and content-based routing. And another one for today is anti-corruption layer pattern. So if you read anything about domain-driven design, you might have heard about the anti-corruption layer. So it's a pattern that is useful when you have two domains which don't share the same semantics. Basically, what you do, you introduce a layer which translates the messages from one subdomain into the objects of another subdomain and protecting the communication. So you can find the detailed description of this article and its drawbacks on the Microsoft blog. And of course, speaking of domain-driven design, this Wednesday I will be holding an interview with Vlad Kononov, who is an author of the book Learning the Domain-Driven Design. So make sure you subscribe to the channel in order not to miss the video. And last week I conducted the interview with Mark Demu about what an engineering manager should know about software architecture. That was a very interesting conversation, so make sure you take a look at this too. Thank you very much. See you next week. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe down below to the channel in order not to miss new videos on it. I would also appreciate your support that you can make at Patreon or Boosty, and that will really help to run the channel. Patrons and Boosty subscribers get the early access to all the content that I'm making, and you will also get your name in this list of supporters, and you will also be able to join the architecture community where we discuss what's happening in the industry and solving some architectural puzzles. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.